Welcome back to MGSTV. I'm your host Winnie Wu, and today we are here with Mr. Albert Yu, Operations and Sales Managers of Aruze Gaming Macau Limited.
Hi.
Hello Albert.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming to MGSTV.
Pleasure.
It's the first ever Macau gaming show. What are your impressions so far?
To begin with, we are not sure what to expect because it's the first show. But then it ends up, I think it's pretty well for the first day. The crowd is pretty good and we're seeing quite a few customers coming around.
Macau is now a very important part of the world gaming landscape. What factors do manufacturers need to be mindful of when dealing with the Macau market?
I think a lot of Asian-themed games would have to be considered because this is a major Chinese player-based market. So manufacturers should target, or their R&D should focus on more Asian-themed games. I think that would make a good impression to the players.
What are the most popular selling games for Aruze at the moment in Asia?
For multi-terminal machines, I would say Lucky Sequel, which is our best-selling multi-terminal game. It's been around for a few years, and a lot of venues. I'm pretty sure I would say 80 to 90% of the casinos in Macau has this machine, and we have a strong presence on our stepper machines in the market. So these two products are going very well for us.
Aruze's content is very distinctive, and this no doubt reflects the Japanese roots of the company. How much of a role does the Japanese influence play on Aruze's ongoing product development?
We have a few R&D offices, but our headquarters of R&D is in Japan. So obviously our R&D team most of them are Japanese, and with the influence of our owner, Mr. Okada, he does an excellent job of input his ideas and thoughts into developing the games. So there's going to be a great deal of content on our games that reflects his perspective of how games should be played and the game themes.
The wider Aruze organization has been around for decades. Such long-established organizations often find it challenging to keep up to date. How does Aruze constantly work to stay at the cutting edge?
That has a lot to do with the R&D because market evolves and changes every quarter, every month. For R&D, they need to make sure what the popular games are, and so that based on the market research information, they will develop specific games for markets such as Macau. And this is basically all R&D does, and they did a good job of it.
Macau slot machine GGR is a very large number in dollar terms, but as a percentage still only represents about 5% of the local gaming market. What do you think that number can grow to, and how long do you think that is likely to take?
Tough question. There are a whole bunch of new casinos opening up in 2004, 2005, and obviously that number of machines will grow because of the new venues set up. In terms of how many machines or how that percentage would grow, I would say maybe 10% at least for the next 4 or 5 years. Hopefully that would happen. That would be very beneficial for Aruze.
What is Aruze doing at this stage to increase the market share in Macau?
Of course, we're being very aggressive to each customer in Macau. We know, or we observe the trend in the market, and therefore we work with our R&D team to develop more new games, and we try to push it out to the market. Obviously, not all games would work because there's obviously failures, games that were not performing well, but we're trying our best, and then we're trying to grow as the market grows. That's how our approach is.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Albert, and we'll see you next time on MGSTV.
Thanks for having me.